He's the tallest man on the radio, so sit right back and enjoy the show. Flying through the air like a ballistic missile. Here's your host, Ben Kissel.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Ben Kissel channel. As always, for the month of June, I'm with Cheiknar Letang.
All right.
And don't worry, ladies, he is single. Forever. And also, we got our friend Scott Dean is with us. It's nice to be with an actor who actually has work. Scott has a movie out right now. It's called 12-Hour Shift. Are you on one of those right now? If you are, hang in there. I promise you it'll end soon. And then you can go home, watch Netflix, and chill with your dog or cat. Or corpse. Who knows what's going on in the homes of most people? It's America, and God knows we all live in glass houses. Scott, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
You got a movie out, 12-Hour Shift. This is adorable. He's a little chunkier. He's a little bit more his Kissel era. And you play a security guard in that.
Yes.
And we watched that at a great establishment we all like to chill at, which we will not name here so we can have some privacy in our lives.
It's a secret.
And then you also have a movie coming out in July.
Yes, In Flight. Yeah, super excited about that. Thriller.
Awesome.
Takes place on a plane.
I think that's exactly what people need now. Because when I think of planes, I think safety, security. Doors don't just randomly open, or planes just don't randomly fall out of the sky. That's a joke because they seem to be doing that constantly. So do you think that this is the time where America needs a thriller on a plane?
I think taking advantage of the fear is an essential part of movie making.
And maybe helping people get over the fear of when they fly, some jackass who's sitting in the security row, in the exit row, like myself, because they're tall, have also given the responsibility to take that plane down before it gets to Phoenix.
Yeah, and there's always someone that saves the day, right?
No.
Right?
No.
9/11?
Not in reality.
Yeah, what are we talking about? So, no. Have you met us?
I don't know.
Have you? The American hero is gone. Other than Dr. Oz, who did just save somebody on a plane.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't hear
did.
that story.
Literally, someone was just like, "Oh my God, my balls are swelling up," and then I don't know what the problem was. Maybe there was some fluid. Maybe it would have been good if the plane crashed into the water. You have big swollen testes. Next thing you know, you're the only one that lives.
Everyone grab my hands. We're floating.
Exactly.
I like it.
That's what should have happened at the end of. Yep, that's what should have happened at the end of Titanic.
Maybe it's what happened at the end of In Flight. Maybe.
Don't ruin the end of your movie.
Sorry.
He said maybe.
Maybe.
Flight. Have you ever sat in coach?
Oh, yeah, for years and years and years. It's horrible. You sit there like just a jackass, and now they keep on making them smaller and smaller and smaller. Yeah. I've gotten slightly larger. Working, I can get slightly smaller. But even at my smallest, oh, my God, no way in hell can I fit. You know what seat I would pay for? I would pay $2,500 right now. Bathroom seat. If you could just have the bathroom for the entire flight.
The entire stall
is yours. Entire flight, you have the bathroom. Oh, waitress, another red wine, please. And you just sit there and you piss and you do whatever else you're going to do. You brush your teeth.
Piss, poo, drink, eat, all of it.
All right there.
For a cross-country flight.
A 20-minute flight from L.A. to Vegas. I just want the time in the bathroom. Stare at the man in the mirror. Look at yourself while you're gruntling, which I call pooping, which we have a poop story coming up.
Oh, yes, man.
And just really contemplate life. And if the plane goes down, who gives a shit? You're already in heaven, baby.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about shitting on yourself from fear, you know? It'll go right in the toilet.
Oh, dude, that's why I have to sit in the row. But I don't like the row. I prefer the window seat. This is fascinating conversation, by the way. Fascinating. But I prefer the window seat in theory. But in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to use the bathroom. So I gotta get the aisle seat, which is much more uncomfortable because they're always coming through with that prison style fucking catering, the journey they have.
And then knock your elbow off without even noticing it every time.
I've gotten my knees banged up more than Sasha Grey in a goddamn porno. That's a dated reference, but I'll tell you one thing, Sasha Grey, best dog actress I've ever seen. Some of her work involves a squeaky toy.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, they just bang it into your fucking knees, and they're like, yeah, coffee? You want coffee? I'm like, no, I wanted to sleep.
Yeah.
I wanted the exact opposite of what you're offering. And then you just janked up my knee like that.
I wanted the skin from my elbow.
I would have loved that. Could have used that later, could have eaten it.
Why do you prefer the window?
Well, just because I like to look out the window, it's peaceful. You have that whole thing. You can kind of rest on the side of, and I do like to look out the window, maybe see a UFO, some kind of blorb, an orb, something like that. Just look at the vast world that we live in. But again, the anxiety of like, I'm going to have to pee. It just ruins all of it. So then you got to go with the aisle because there's nothing worse than waking up somebody on the flight.
Yeah.
Nothing worse. They pretend like they're not bothered, but they are. Everyone's bothered. Everyone's annoyed.
Yeah.
That's what they've said it us.
It's not an experience anymore.
Not at all. People used to dress up to fly. They used to bring their good cigars to fly. And now, I mean, if you get Southwest Airlines, you're basically buying a ticket to a fight. Because you've got to fight over the GDs. Is that what your movie's all about?
Guess you'll have to tune in and find out.
By the way, we're going to that premiere. I'm going to that premiere. Shake, you're going? We invited ourselves.
You're invited. We're pumped. Yes.
I'm going to get
We're in matching suits and
most people get a 3-piece suit. I'm going to get a 5-piece suit.
oh god.
Yeah.
Wow.
Knee pads.
Sasha Grey.
Just in case there's a hot producer there. Yeah, I'll suck your dick for a movie role. All right. Well, speaking of Father's Day,
No, we're in Hollywood.
we are fucking in Hollywood now, baby. Emphasis on the wood. So, speaking of Father's Day, that was my proper segue. By the way, congratulations. You're a proud papa.
Thank you. Yes, proud papa of 2 daughters.
Beautiful kids, and you're a great father. And I want to say that from the bottom of my heart to you.
Thank you.
You're a wonderful father. He goes to dance recitals and everything. And I fantasize, I say, one day I'll have a child and I'll go to their dance recital. Well, let's be honest, I'm not going to be there. They're going to have one. But I'm going to be like, yo, let me know when you turn pro, okay?
It's character building.
It's, well, yeah.
It's a couple.
Where's Dad? Where's Dad? Well,
He's expecting more. That's where he is.
exactly.
A lot more.
Exactly. Well, there's 165 children who are wondering where Dad is. This man has been nicknamed the Sperminator.
Oh.
His name is Ari Nagel. He is a Brooklynite from the fine streets of Brooklyn. And he has welcomed his 165th child into the world. So obviously he's not going in and doing the busy work with these gals. He's jerking off into a tube, sending it across the world. And then I guess the chicks, I don't know what they do to get it in there. I mean, I know they don't swallow it or shove it up their tuchus. I understand the process of getting it, but I don't know if they, anyway.
Turkey basters.
Turkey basters. Well, there's a fire sale on turkey basters. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. Well, Sperminator's around. So this guy, his name is, again, Ari Nagel, which doesn't sound, for some reason, I wasn't thinking Ari Nagel for the name of the Sperminator. I don't know why.
What would you give him?
Oh, something like a Jose Comes a Lot. Just something more ejaculate.
It sounds possibly Jewish.
It possibly is Jewish. He is a lawyer. He's from Brooklyn, so those things don't necessarily negate. They wouldn't point to him not being Jewish. And of course, we love our Jewish community. I paid them a lot of money when I lived in Brooklyn.
Is he tall, beautiful, handsome? What's going on?
He is handsome, but he says that he'll stop when he's 50. Yes, so he turns 49 in August, so he's got a full year of milking ahead. And we can show the picture of him here. So let's show this picture up on the screen.
Okay.
And he's a good-looking dude. He's almost 50. He's got a full head of hair, and he's smiling with a series of his children. So this is what he explained via text from a cruise ship he was on to the Bahamas. So this guy gets around. He says, physically, I can keep going. So he can jerk off until he's 90. But then he says, but there may be an increased risk for things like autism with older males. Or, dare I say, an increased risk of children being like, where's Dad?
Yeah.
Which I'm sure has heard at least 165 days to 165 times a day. So, he was on a cruise ship with 2 of his children. One is his first son, who is 20, named Tyler, and then child number 33.
Oh,
Wow, it's like a detective agency.
interesting.
Child number 33 is a 7-year-old daughter, Topaz. So now they're just naming them colors.
It makes
And
it easier.
the 33rd child, and he's still connected to the mother and has a relationship. Wow. This man is...
I give him credit for that. A lot of people spunk and go. And it's not just a fun new gas station coming up next to Come and Go.
So this man is not a sperm donor. He's actually having sex with all these women and having all these children.
I think he's a sperm donor, bro. His dick would be like a character from Hellraiser if he was banging all these chicks. It would be bloody and covered in...
Next person, please.
Covered in sores.
Jesus.
Poor guy. Be careful what
you
you...
movie like that, actually. I think I'm trying to remember what it was called. She Hates Me.
Oh, is that right?
Anthony Mackie goes around and he impregnates all these women. They just needed children. Like we're talking lesbian couples.
Oh, okay. And he does it God's way.
Yeah. Having sex with them, like the whole full-on thing.
Well,
That's the version of it that reminds me of.
That must have been cold.
It was a Spike Lee joint.
Yeah. Must have been a cold sex having
Must
sex.
have been good. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's 6'2", and he is. I'm sorry, he's not a lawyer. Oh. For some reason, I thought lawyer because you planted the seed.
Me.
Maybe. He's actually a Kingsborough Community College math professor. So he's very smart with math, which is why he can count all the way up to 165. So he's celebrating his latest baby, who was birthed by a woman in Connecticut. So Nagel boasted it was that mom's 4th child with me. At some point, don't you just want to put a ring on it? So this is what he is so braggadocious. He says, I have 10 women currently pregnant in the U.S., Canada, Asia, Africa, Europe, Zimbabwe, and Long Island.
Wow.
Yeah. So all the way from Zimbabwe to Long Island. This guy is like Genghis Khan. All of us at some point are going to be related to this man.
I got so many questions.
Yes, and also in August, a baby was due in Israel and Queens.
Wow.
How is he advertising himself?
I think he just posts his dong.
I think it's just, hey, do you need to pass math class? I got you.
I got you. And of course, if you're a lady out there and you're looking for quality spunk, 6'2", mathematician,
Beautiful head of hair.
Beautiful.
Light blue eyes, which that combo with the dark hair.
yeah. So I guess this is all that you gotta be.
Decent at math.
Well, he's a
Good looking.
He's a professor.
Yeah, at a community college. Let's be real.
Oh, I went to community college for a year.
No, I did. And then I moved on.
Yeah, and they were great. I love my community college. A lot of community, little college. Mostly drinking, little college. So Nagel, he shot to fame 8 years ago.
Literally.
And he still hands over sperm samples to one or two aspiring mothers per week.
Wow.
So he is just, hey, what you doing? We know what you're doing. You're making more sperm.
Do you think he ever masturbates just for fun now? Or is it always work for him? Because you know what?
It's a job.
How do you separate the two now? You're taking your work home with you kind of thing.
Exactly. Right there in your pants. I feel like it's, what they say about chefs? They eat like bean burritos that are microwavable. Because you work all day in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You make everyone great food. And then you get home and you're like, I guess ramen again for old Chef Dickhead. Yeah. So I'm assuming when he jerks off, it's just kind of like blasé.
Gotta separate.
Clocks in.
Clocks in, clocks out.
Takes the fun out of it.
And if he's doing, 2 a day, that's...
I've maintained the average.
Yeah, but I guess 2 per week. Okay, so that's really not bad. Also, do you want to give the body enough time to regenerate the good spunk? So sometimes through clinics and other times face-to-face, but never... but they're always non-sexual meetings. So I guess sometimes he'll just be like, here you go, which really cuts out all the fun of a woman receiving sperm. It's just more transactional.
Keep me behind the 7-Eleven, here you go.
Yeah.
It's still warm.
Yep.
You gotta be behind.
Well, you don't want to do it in front. Hey, can I get some of that?
Yeah. Give me $2 in that sperm.
Yeah, I have some of that sperm. Next thing you know, that guy's got 8 fucking kids and they go at your face.
He's just holding a Slurpee and crying.
God dang it. You impregnated that unhoused woman. So, he has vowed. Did we all make our vows this morning in the mirror? He has vowed to be the better. He has vowed to try to be. I can't read today. It's a Monday episode. He has vowed to try to be a better father to, quote, my 175 children, 34 of whom he hasn't yet met. And I'm going to say this, isn't that the best father of all?
Well, that's an easy vow to make if you've never met them, because then all you have to do is meet them and you're 100% better than you were, right?
Or just don't, and you're the greatest dad of all time. Well, you actually come from a huge family.
I do.
And it seems like you have a little bit of, you miss your father, don't you?
I do miss my dad a lot, yeah.
Yes, he was a good man. But he had like, what, 20 kids?
Well, he had just 10 of us. My grandfather had 30.
30?
30 kids. Shay comes from a long line of dribblers, baby.
They don't mess around in the Caribbean.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to have a child soon.
They're like, it's so nice. It's so warm. What should we do?
What do we do here?
I'm thinking maybe we make another baby.
Make another baby, eat some oxtail, have a night.
And then
Paradise for nothing.
I'm going to tan
I love that.
like this.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to heaven.
Why?
Because, I mean, like, the Caribbean is like heaven, paradise. I have a feeling there's a lot of sex going on up there.
In heaven?
Yeah. I mean,
You read the different book than I did.
in the Muslim religion, they already promise you, what, 7 virgins or something like that?
Oh, I think there's 40 or something.
So,
A nightmare that would be.
yeah.
Can we go out to dinner? Can we go see a movie? What if you just grow up and come back to me?
7 virgins. I guess I'm leading this parade.
I can't remember what the number.
This is a penis.
Yep. Nagel said, I'll never be able to be as good of a dad to my kids as my father was to me. So he's sad a little bit. Yeah, because his dad didn't have 164 other fucking kids. But again, he's going for 175. I believe right now he has 165. So he says, having lots of kids can bring a lot of happiness and joy into your life, but I don't suggest 175. So it seems like he's a little bit mad that he has a series of people out there wishing him dead.
Having a lot of kids can bring a lot of joy into your life.
It can.
But you gotta meet them first.
Well, it's just at this point, I think it's more of an albatross around his neck, where it's just every day he's like, oh, I got 100 and remember when it's 75 kids? You know, just what a stress that is. Remember when Antonio Cromartie, the former D safety for the Jets, I think he has what 19 kids,
I didn't know.
something like that, right? 13, 19, something, a large number of kids, and he was asked to name them, and I think he got to like 4 or 5 names. It's just brutal. I mean, anyway, so the sperminator says he sees many of his sons and daughters often, mostly the 56 that live in New York, the 20 that live in New Jersey, and the 13 that live in Connecticut. So if one of these kids doesn't get successful, this guy did a horrible job.
Wasn't the donation supposed to be anonymous?
Well, this is, so you can do it either way. I had some friends back in the day that weren't taking the kick. And this is what they had to do. And you could go through, do you want to meet them? Do you not want to meet them? Do you want another name? Do you want your child to have a relationship with them? You can go down that list and sort of pick and choose what kind of, what kind of father figure would you like them to be? So he says, to that point, some moms don't want me to play a role, but I leave that option to them just in case they change their mind. He also says, and most do once the child gets a little older and starts asking questions. God, that sucks.
Yeah.
Just on the way to Starbucks.
Man,
I'll have a Frappuccino and who's my dad?
how do you get into that line of work?
Well,
What possesses you to go and do that? Is it like, I mean, I'm a little bit envious of him because this man obviously has good sperm, but the rest of it he can keep.
You're envious of his sperm?
Yeah, it's got to be good sperm. It'd be having,
it must be good.
Yeah.
Or is it more like Burger King being like 1 billion burgers sold, but they're shit? Yeah, it's like you sold 1 billion burgers.
I'm leaning more this way.
Right.
I think. Of course.
It's not like Tom's Burgers right there, which is, I think they've sold 10 total, but they're very good, right? So yeah, I think his sperm might be the fast food of spunk. Yeah, get some curly
Welcome to
fries.
Ari's.
Yeah, want the curly fries? So how does he keep track of all this shit? Well, he has a spreadsheet with the names, birthdays, addresses, and phone numbers of each offspring, and he plasters as many pictures as he can around his Kingsborough office which makes him seem like a pedophile. When you walk into a person's, like, hey, math teacher,
Children pictures on.
just tons of children's pictures, and be like, who are these? These are my kids. Yeah, are they? How are they hanging on the wall? I don't see any glue around. Yeah, it's
Those
just,
are my off days. I stick up my pictures.
yeah, most of that product. Well, I'm coming right now, by the way.
Can you hold this picture?
Yeah. The photos cover nearly every inch of his room. And they depict little infants cooing in their car seats, small uniformed children posing for school pictures, and Nagel playing with and snuggling with various kids. So there's going to be an investigation there.
Happy.
Oh, wow. Don't you think there's something a little bit weird about Professor Nagel? Seems like he wants to fuck a lot of kids.
As the only father in here, how do you feel about this whole scenario, this whole story? I mean,
You're the papa too, and again, great father, truly wonderful father. But sometimes it's just like I can see the stress in your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine 173 other ones.
A, I couldn't imagine it. B, it doesn't seem like this guy gives a fuck, so I don't know that he's actually...
He's got a spreadsheet. Do you have a spreadsheet with your babies? Do you have a spreadsheet with your
I would
babies?
step into like the future and maybe have something on my phone that really keeps track and sends some messages, that I don't even have to send. Siri, send out to the first 86 kids, I love you so much, Daddy's thinking of you. Boom. Send it out.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
See, you are good.
He used to get
Look at it. See, that's what all fathers have to do. Just fake the love. Just fake it. Fake it.
Also, he doesn't have time to be hanging with them with all that masturbating.
Well,
Plus
apparently...
teaching math?
Apparently, he just returned from the Bahamas. Okay. So he expects that he and a handful of his kids, along with their mother, you know what they're going to do this year for Father's Day? The same thing they did last year for Father's Day. Go to the Bronx Zoo. So that'll be fun. And then he says, additionally, I will receive many cards and gifts. This guy's in it for the cards and gifts.
Mother?
Look at some love.
He found a loophole.
Yes. The one piece of advice from Nagel. Do you want a piece of advice from a guy who has 175 kids?
Sure.
But he says the one piece of advice that he wants to impart on all of his descendants. This whole country is just going to be the United States of Nagel. We're so fucked.
Welcome to Nagel.
I got a story about that, but go ahead.
Okay, well, let's just hold on to it. Put that in your bonnet. He says, embrace saying yes to doing favors, new experiences, invites, and opportunities. It's the key to a fulfilling. It's a key to a fulfilling life, as long as it's all fulfilling the vagina. And he says, I say yes to everything, which, yeah, it does seem like it. All right.
Now, really quickly, when he says it's going to become the United States of Nagel. So in a small country like Haiti, well, we got a lot of people, but when your grandfather has 30 kids, and this goes all the way back in the early 1900s kind of thing, so you end up having a bunch of cousins that you've never met before.
Right.
So I went on a trip to Haiti. This was about like 2017, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm leaving, I'm going through, passing immigration, leaving to come back here. And this officer, immigration officer, looks at me, looks at my name and goes, "You're Letang, huh?" I said, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "All right, me too. But we don't have to say much to each other because we probably will never see each other again," kind of thing.
So you just randomly meet relatives.
They don't even have to have the same last name. You just know there is some sort of connection and that you come from the same grandfather at some point. And then you got all these people out there. So,
nice.
Yeah, but, this could get lost here. But in a small country and throughout the Caribbean, a lot of people are kind of related to each other.
I do like the Letang tribe. Sounds good. Sounds like they eat a lot of ass. So this guy, he says, this is lastly to wrap this up. He says, I have dating apps. So he doesn't have dating apps, which I don't think he needs. But he says, I don't have much success finding a woman who wants to date someone with 165 kids and with 10 women currently pregnant. So, what a deal breaker. So, he also said, I'm also pretty broke, which doesn't help.
She's not getting paid for these donations.
I don't think this guy...
Somewhere.
Oh, Lord. I don't know. Anyway, happy Father's Day. That was the Father's Day story. All right, let's move on. Do you guys know this guy, Theo James?
Theo James?
I don't know either. I have no idea who Theo James is. But anyway, this story was kind of funny. So this guy, he went on a date, right? And then I guess they ended up, having a nice time. But then the next day he realizes this chick took a shit in his bathtub. Yeah.
The actor?
Is he an actor? Yeah. Well, he's an actor. Okay. So he sat down with Entertainment Weekly. And do you remember when those used to be like, tell me about the significance of acting? Mm-hmm. And now the actors just talk about when people come over to their house and shit in their fucking tubs. So he says, this was during a panel discussion, and they played a game, Two Truths and a Lie. Let's play it. What's two truths and a lie?
Someone shit in my tub.
Yeah.
I'm 5'8" on my very best day.
Oh, honk.
And I'm 41.
You're 5'9".
Not on my best day.
You go down. Yeah. I mean, honestly, for actors, that's better. That's better. It is a pet peeve of mine when people just don't know how to talk with each other, right? So they'll be like, let's play one of those truth or dares. It's like, why don't you learn how to have a conversation? You fucking
The
assholes.
lie was the shit in the tub, by the way.
Yes, there you go.
Just to be clear.
You are taller than 5'8".
Sometimes. When I wear my big boy shoes.
You better wear those at the premiere. I hope they have snacks. I'm here for the bagels.
No.
I know Scott D.
It's always some healthy version of a snack that you wish tasted better, you know?
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
be like
Boreos.
Yeah.
Boring Oreos.
Oreos or like pretzels with protein but no salt and no joy.
Yeah. Gotta keep them silly. So he told a story. He says, it was back during his university days. He must be fucking British. And he said he and this girl hit the town before heading back to his place for what he says, some fun. So maybe there were some video games to be played. And then he says, you can probably read between the lines. So they played video games. And then Theo said, in the morning, the gal left. And then he was like, all good, Theo. You did it again, buddy. You played Red Dead Redemption 2 with a hot babe. Which I've been playing, by the way, and fucking crushing it. I'm killing them all. You take my money, you take my girl, you're about to have a bullet in your head. So he said he found a little gift waiting for him in the bathtub, and he called it, quote, a small turd. A small turd. Which is, it seems like gals are just doing this now.
That trial was inspiring. That Johnny Depp.
Yeah, the Amber, I guess they call her the Amber Turd.
The Amber Turd.
Amber Heard the turd.
Left the grumpy in his bed.
Maybe they were doing the rear view sex there, and he wiggled something loose, which could be very good if you're constipated. But he says he thought the date went pretty well, but then he did say he was miffed when he found this little turd. Now I would not be miffed. That's what we call leverage.
What would your reaction be if you found something like that in your bathtub?
Leverage. Battlefield. What is it? Battlefield Earth. Fucking now I know you shot in my tub. Oh, well, I'm coming
to your place soon.
Well, we're not going to be going out for a 5-star dinner next time. That's an Applebee's is next. Oh, why are we going to Applebee's? Well, why'd you shit in my tub? Oh, okay, Applebee's is fine.
I'm glad we're not going to shit for shit. I thought you were going to say we're going to go back to our place and shit.
No, buddy. No, that's sacred.
He said the date went well, but then when he found the turd, he was like, you know what? Bad date?
Yep. And he said it was a bit of a Hershey's Kiss size, a little Hershey's Kiss.
Oh.
So it was kind of cute.
The kind you leave on the pillow?
If you're Amber Heard. Yeah, I hate that hotel. These hotels.
You lose myth.
Well, you used to get little chocolates in the hotels. Now they do just leave a little queef on there.
Just a little
doodle.
Just a little something?
From Peggy.
Like, why would she just squeeze out a little tiny nugget of turd?
Well, I think it was probably... it was a fart gone wrong.
Oh.
I would assume.
A tub fart gone wrong.
I don't think that she did this out of malicious intent. Also, let's be honest. I mean, sometimes you're in the restroom, you're in the bathroom, you're taking the shower, and you just figure, it's all going to, kind of go the way of the water. But then the water says, no, that's a rock right there, my friend. We're going around that. And then it's just left there forever and ever and ever.
Or something like something to remember her by kind of thing.
That's a good
people
point.
Do stuff that, they do crazy stuff they record to go viral. She wasn't trying to go viral. She was trying to stand out from the rest of the women that he dates. That's a good looking dude right there.
Very true. And she didn't smear it against the walls and be like, red rum, but in shit.
Just to lift a little Hershey Kiss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a great date, I'm letting this go. Truly, I would let it go in real life.
Yeah.
Like if it was a great date and I'm like, a little turd in the shower there, I'll be like, just like
you'd
me.
bring it up, right? If there was a second date?
I would bring it up at the most opportune time. Again, you've got this in your back pocket. They're all just a series of arrows waiting to be fired. That's all the dating is, right? And so, yeah, again.
Save it and sit on it.
Yeah, why aren't we going to Frank's in East Village? It's got great Italian food. Well, isn't that interesting? Well, instead we're going to go to the Brooklyn Mall, and there's an Applebee's right next to a B-Dubs, so you can choose between either of those. Why? Well, because you're the kind of gal who shits in tubs.
It's a lot easier to wash down diarrhea than it is
Exactly.
expensive turns. That's why.
Have you?
my next thing, yeah.
Yeah. Because good French food or good Italian food, that's going to give you a solid.
Yes.
Yep.
So are you not incentivized to actually take her to get good food versus
No.
Applebee food?
No, I want this shit to go down the drain. I want her to shit liquid.
Okay.
Because then I don't have to step it in the fucking morning.
Oh, man.
All I know is I got a dog. I pick up shit every day. But he's so fucking cute, I don't care. All right, last story.
Oh, Lord.
A bikini-clad barista smashed a dude's car window. And usually I would say, let's not smash people's windows, right? But this guy seems like he fucking deserved it. So it was a fight over a $22 cup of coffee. I agree. It's too much. But also, that's just America. You know, if you're going in there and be like, I'll have a cup of coffee, some spunk in there. Can you put some breast milk on top of that? And, you know, maybe a small toddler to come with it. Basically, coffees are now Bloody Marys in Wisconsin where they come with a full Turkish hen. But you have to pay for it. So it was a $22 cup of coffee. And then this guy threw it at her. Which is not polite. So Emma Lee, she was captured on surveillance video, taking a hammer to his car and completely trashing it. And Lee told the local news outlet she did the damage to the customer's car after he exited the vehicle, approached the drive-thru window, and threw the iced coffee at her. She also alleged that the man threatened her by saying, "Nobody is going to miss you." So I am on the side of the barista. First of all, I'll miss you, barista. Second of all, I'm not on the side of the $22 coffee, but also he put that shit in there. You know, he was like triple pump.
That was his order.
That's his order, right? It is what it is. Thank God it was cold coffee, not hot coffee, like in that McDonald's case, which I used to think was frivolous, and then I realized your pussy got fused together.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Burnt of a JJ bad. Yes.
Oh, did you hear that story? Remember that one?
A while ago, right?
Way back in the day, and it used to be like, people are suing over the craziest reasons. But then once I looked into it, I was like, Jesus, McDonald's. Ronnie, how hot do you have to make your coffee? I know you're a clown, but Jesus Christ.
Try to wake up, man, losing my private.
I think they're trying to make it so hot at McDonald's so it burns your taste buds off, so you think the food's good.
So this man is offended at the price of the coffee that he ordered so much that he pulls over after receiving the coffee.
Yes.
Gets out, throws it on her in the drive-thru.
Yes.
She takes her top off, somehow gets into a bikini, right? You said she's in a bikini?
Well,
Yeah, she has. Yeah.
I'm guessing that she got
Yes.
the coffee on her,
Well,
she ripped it off, and she's like, all right, grabs a hammer from the toolbox.
I'm not sure when the bikini came on or off. It was never off. Well, this is what she says. The young business owner told Fox 13. She says it was a real threat. After screaming, spitting, and trying to pry open the window, I felt in danger. Then Lee told the outlet that the customer ordered a 32-ounce iced coffee and a 24-ounce water, totaling in $22. So there's two orders here. Is it expensive? Yes, but again, it is what it is. Modern America. So she said the man was a repeat patron at the business and had previously complained about the high prices of his order. They don't fucking go there anymore. Oh, and she said, and this is her, she's correct. She says, no one's forcing you to come here. Just go away.
Yeah.
There's other ways to get coffee. Trust me, it's everywhere.
There's one across the street, I'm sure.
Yes. The barista says the argument that he had, the argument that he didn't know or was scammed doesn't hold up. The prices are listed. Lee called the cops and has filed a misdemeanor assault charge against the customer. However, the man has said he's going to take her to small claims court for the cost of her windshield, for the cost of the windshield. So it's, you know, she does take a hammer to it, and she's hanging out the window.
Oh, wow.
We'll post
Yes.
that as well. But he threw the iced coffee at her. You can see the iced coffee on the ground there. I think this is turnabout as fair play. It's neutral. Yeah. I'm going to go with offsetting penalties. Offsetting penalties.
How do you find a hammer that quickly when you're serving?
I think people probably complain about the prices a lot.
So you just keep it.
So you just, oh yeah, yeah. You might watch out for the old window smasher.
Somebody had it coming. All right.
He was the one that didn't drive off quick enough. 32 ounces of coffee.
Yeah, it's a good amount of coffee.
That's. I didn't even know that option existed.
So you figure with all that shit, 32 ounces. So that's about $15 right there. Plus the $7 for the water. It is a little stadium pricey. But again, it's a small shop. This isn't a Starbucks.
Does it say where that is? Is that a beach town? I mean, the whole bikini thing. We still haven't gotten to the bottom of it.
It must be. So apparently, okay. So Lee says she isn't worried about being brought before the judge. She says she doesn't believe she would be treated differently than any other barista simply because she serves up coffee while wearing skimpy swimwear. So I think she also owns this business, which is great.
And it's like the theme.
It's this.
I like that.
Bring it back. Bring back the 1980s with the bikini stuff. It's fun. It's cheeky. You can have a couple of guys in hammocks. Who cares? So Lee says, why should this kind of interaction be expected because of the environment? It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yes. And then she says, it's okay for him to be outraged, but it's not appropriate for me to respond. I mean, she did, again, attack the man's window. And she does seem like she might break your window.
Oh, absolutely.
And
she has some Catch Me Outside vibes.
Yes, but you got to know that. You got to know that.
He's a regular.
Exactly. And you know he's a regular, so he's just like, yeah, I love this place. You can see the movies, you get coffee.
Yeah,
it's a little expensive, but you're also paying for the view.
There's an underlying story for him. He's probably convinced himself that they were dating, and then her overcharging him means they're breaking up.
Psychopath. Many people have chimed in saying the customer was wrong. So this is what one admirer wrote.
Oh. Yeah.
I showed this to my kids. If we react like this, less men would think it was okay to talk to us like that.
I don't think that's true.
No, I don't think that's actually horrible advice. It's awful advice. Also, he didn't speak to her. He threw coffee at her. So that's a psycho. So that's good to know she has a lot of crazy people on her side. And then one said, he would never have done that if it was a man. Okay. What did you do to deserve that? What did any of us do? You existed? You're a goddamn national treasure. So the commenters are psycho.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Another person cheered. The hammer to the windshield was extremely satisfying. So this is good. This is scary. But then one person did say, so then you committed a felony with aggravated assault on him. Not a good look, sweet pea. But no, that guy's an asshole too.
Yeah.
Everyone should just stay. All these people just seem to just stay on the internet. Never make their way into my life.
How would you advise your daughters to react to that scenario?
Good question.
Someone throwing coffee at them, get a hammer and fucking break their windshield. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Listen, anybody mistreating anyone that works in a serving position, anything like that, I think is a fucking asshole and deserves a hammer in their windshield.
I completely agree. The service industry is extremely difficult. I was just reading an article about the old United States military draft, but really we need to draft people into the service industry jobs. 2 years. That's all you got to do. I mean, I worked in probably, no joke, like 10 fast food joints, and then I bounced in New York City for a few years. And you see how rude people can be and entitled. And you just have to see that side of people. So then if you see it inside yourself, you'll recognize it and say, you know what? I don't want to be that douchebag who's going to end up with a hammer through my windshield.
Also, learn how to tip. That's another reason why they should go in there. I mean, like, so many of these kids nowadays don't really know how to tip.
They don't know how to tip. You don't know how to tip. Well, the Spermator certainly does. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Scotty Dean is going to be with us all week. Check out 12-Hour Shift and all of his great films out there. And he's a rising star. All right. Shank and I and Scott. We'll be back later. Bye.